On today's episode of Survival Dispatch Reviews, we're having a look at a budget thermal device versus a set of budget infrared binoculars to determine which one is the best force multiplier for a person who doesn't have thousands of dollars to spend. Just to be clear, this video is on a budget thermal unit, which is $699 for the TNV-10 from Mileseey, versus this set of infrared binoculars, the Wildguarder Owler 1, which is $329. Now, you can spend many thousands of dollars on night vision products. So to be in the hundreds of dollars really does place it in that budget category. However, they still give you a serious advantage over somebody who does not have these devices as far as what you can see both during the day and night, which we're going to get into as we test these. So the easiest way to describe these thermal units is a comparison to the Predators in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and the series that came thereafter, how the Predators see everything based on temperature. IR, on the other hand, stands for infrared, which is not visible by the human eye. So there's a flood on one side of this, meaning that it floods infrared light and it's able to pick it up. So when you light it up at nighttime and you turn the IR flood on, it's just like somebody turned on a regular floodlight. It's that big of an advantage. For thermal imaging, the biggest advantage that it has is the ability to pick up a heat signature from someone or something, regardless of how well camouflaged they are. However, the images, again, just like the Predators, doesn't have tremendous detail and resolution. So if you were to wear something, for eye sets that was strictly thermal imaging, you probably wouldn't make it too far. Just there's not enough detail to see things. You'd probably bump into stuff, trip, fall down. It wouldn't be particularly productive. The other weakness that thermal has is that the more extreme the temperature, whether it's extremely hot or extremely cold, everything has a relatively similar surface temperature and you can't distinguish between various things. Now, infrared, on the other hand, has much more detail. So you'll notice, guys, operators wearing PV-14s, high resolution, they can make their way around at night just like it was daytime. There's a tremendous amount of detail. However, if there were, say, animals along a tree line, if somebody was well camouflaged, infrared won't pick it up any better than you would during the daytime with a regular set of binoculars. Whereas thermal, on the other hand, will pick up those heat signatures and will reveal somebody who's hiding in the bushes or perhaps some hogs down a property line, down a tree line. Once again, the TNV-10 Monocular from Mileseey is $699 by itself. That does not include this external screen, which we've attached for this video so that it makes it easier for y'all to see the images that are produced by the unit. So let's talk some of the features here, which is why I have my laptop in front of me. I want to make sure I don't miss any of the highlights and points. So number one, thermal doesn't have an emitter, a light emitter, whereas infrared does. And sometimes, depending on the quality of infrared emitter, if the other person's on just the right angle, they'll be able to discover your position. They'll know exactly where you are. The resolution on this unit is 256 by 192. Sounds really low, but the highest quality thermal units in the world only go to 640 by 480. The batteries on a full charge last for 16 hours, which is pretty impressive. It can save images to an SD card, has no audio recording like some other devices do. But it also has this really cool hotspot tracking where there's a reticle or crosshair that follows something with a heat signature right in the viewport, which is pretty impressive. Comes with rechargeable batteries, USB-C to charge it up. There's several different color modes. There's green night vision, red heat, black heat, white heat, and has a 4x digital zoom. Once again, the infrared binoculars that we're using for this video are the Wildguarder Owler 1. It's $329 available on their website or on Amazon. We'll have links below as per usual. Probably the biggest unique feature to these binoculars is that they have a 20x optical zoom. So that's the same type of zoom that you would find in a scope. Typically, these types of devices strictly have a digital zoom. This does have a digital zoom, 4x digital zoom, but optic zoom is just an order of magnitude better. So the crispness of the images that you're going to see both day and night, absolutely phenomenal from this unit. It excels at long distances and even up close. The clarity is just amazing. And again, it can be used daytime or nighttime. So same with the thermal. A lot of people think this night vision stuff strictly for nighttime, but they do have some benefits during the day as well. When you record videos on this device, there is a little bit of latency. The frame rate is not exceptionally high, so if you were filming something like a car moving, motorcycle, boat, something like that, you will get some choppiness. However, the screen resolution is pretty amazing. It's 4608 pixels by 2592 pixels. And even the viewport here has a resolution of 854 by 480, has a very strong infrared flood. When you light this thing up at night, you'd swear that you had like a couple million candle watt power of light shining on whatever you're looking at. Keep in mind, once again, that infrared means there's an emitter. Emitter means that there's a potential signature, and that could reveal where you are at night. Unlike the Mileseey unit, this is not a rechargeable unit unless you swap out the batteries. By default, it takes 8 AA batteries. So I think we're finally at the point where we're ready to show you all the difference between thermal and IR night vision. So as hard as it is to believe, we've actually found Sasquatch right here in Central Florida. And we've tracked him, and he's hiding in that stand of bamboo over there. So you probably noticed that you can barely see him with no zoom on the camera lens here at all. However, as soon as we bring out the thermal imaging, lo and behold, look what happens. There he is, just to the left of that oak tree. So even in the daytime, it's tremendous value to having thermal imaging. Now we're going to bring this back out tonight, and hopefully Sasquatch will still be hiding in the woods there, so that we can show you that there's virtually no difference with thermal when you're looking at a creature during the day or night. And we've also got some pictures from the infrared binoculars that we've taken during the daytime that will overlay so that you can see the quality of it as well. As you can see, it's still daytime. I just used my laser rangefinder to determine that the tree behind the furthest electric pole is a little over 600 feet away. And you can see through the viewport of the Owler 1 binoculars, it's got pretty good resolution. I've taken some still images and we'll lay them in as well. So just so you can see what thermal looks like resolution-wise, at 600 feet, we're picking up a bit of a heat signature from the electric pole. The bright, warm area that you see in the bottom right corner is actually the asphalt. That's the road that is retaining a fair bit of heat. So we're going to come back out and shoot this at night so you can see the difference between day and night with the IR binoculars and the thermal monocular. And we're back now that the sun's gone down. And we do have some light from surrounding homes, but cannot tell with just the camera lens whether or not Sasquatch is still hiding out in the bamboo. So we're going to take some shots with the thermal unit to see if we can detect a heat signature. And lo and behold, look at that. Our handy dandy thermal unit from Mileseey has picked up the thermal signature, the heat signature of Sasquatch, who amazingly enough is still hiding in the bamboo trees. Let's see what our IR night vision is capable of picking up. That's some pretty decent detail shown by the Wildguarder Owler 1 night vision. Pretty impressed with the level of detail. We're at 100 feet away from Sasquatch, by the way, which makes it even more impressive that we're doing this after dark. To give you one more perspective, you know, we have no light other than there is some light coming from the neighbor's house, but it still doesn't reveal that there's somebody or something hiding in the tree line. We're going to light it up with 1600 lumens here to see what we can see. And yes, that is Sasquatch right there. But if we didn't already know that, it's doubtful that somebody would pick it out at 100 feet away, even with a flashlight and no magnification. We're in the same position we were earlier today, 600 feet out from the oak tree that's furthest away. And as you can see, without any additional light, yes, we have some street lights and house lights, you can't see much detail very much beyond where the mailbox is, especially without the assistance of infrared and thermal. So this gives you a pretty good comparison of how thermal appears during the day and night, how infrared appears during the day and night, and the serious advantage that it gives you having that versus somebody who does not have that ability to see either individuals, animals, and or detail that you can see with the Mileseey TNV10 thermal imager or the Wildguarder Owler 1 night vision. So what's better, thermal imaging or infrared? The answer is both. For right around $1,000, you can gain a serious force multiplier over people who cannot see you or see anything at night for that matter. $1,000 for these two devices. This technology would have cost many thousands of dollars not too many years ago. It's amazing the quality you can get for such a small investment, which is why we pitted budget thermal against budget IR. And at the end of the day, budget both is the way to go. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps us tremendously with the algorithm, and we appreciate you following Survival Dispatch Reviews.